The Green Bay Packers, a team that never seems to fall off, even when they're expected to. You look at their roster, they just lost their franchise quarterback. Well, how's this Jordan Love guy? Oh, he's pretty good. Well, they can't keep doing this over and over again. Their defense, it's bound to be bad. They sucked for so many years. Oh, it's good now. They just know how to build a good football team. But my question is, are the Packers ready to be a great football team in this new era, in the Love era? Well, I'm here to discuss about that today. Now, to preview the Packers season, I have to talk about their offseason, the moves they made. Now, one of the biggest moves they made was cutting former cornerback Jaire Alexander, who was a longtime Packer. Jaire Alexander, when on the field, can be a difference maker. He's still an extremely talented cornerback, but the issue was he's never on the field because he's dealing with injuries. The Packers were owing him a lot of money. They cut him. They freed up cap space. And overall, I don't mind it in the long term. Jaire is talented, no doubt. He'll probably do good in Baltimore if he plays. But you can't pay that much money to a guy who's just never on the field. But they did bring in two players I really like. Aaron Banks is a very good guard. 4 years, $77 million contract. I'm curious to see how that fully works. It looks like they have an out after 2 years. So if it doesn't work out long term, not a hard contract to get off of. But he's talented, and pretty much if the Packers like an offensive lineman, I'm just going to give them the benefit of the doubt. They know what they're doing. The Packers always find the right offensive linemen that fit their system, that do everything properly. So Aaron Banks, I expect to have a really good season with the Packers because they know what they're doing with the offensive line. Then they brought in Nate Hobbs, a nickelback that can play safety, can do a bunch of things. Nate Hobbs was someone I saw theorized by some Steelers writers that they really wanted to come to Steelers. I was a little familiar with his game, not ultra familiar, so I went and watched a lot of his film during that process, and I saw why a lot of writers wanted him. He's an extremely talented nickelback that can come down, make good tackles, good coverage guy, can be brought down on blitzes, just a really talented nickelback that gives you a lot of versatility in the back end of the secondary. Now moving on to the Packers draft class, and the Packers maybe had the most surprising pick in the first round because they actually took a wide receiver. Now, I was watching the NFL draft, and I'm watching it, and a buddy of mine sent me the tip pick, saying, oh my god. I read Matthew Golden. I assumed it was from a fake account. I did not think they were actually going to take a wide receiver. Then the pick was announced, Matthew Golden from Texas. I was like, what? Did they only do that so Packers fans wouldn't burn everything to the ground because they were in Green Bay? Is that why they did it? But either way, Matthew Golden, extremely talented receiver. I like him as a slot. I'm not the biggest fan of him as an outside receiver, but he's extremely talented, has some good bursts. I wouldn't really say his 40-yard dash is his expected speed. I think he's a little slower than that. That seemed more of like a training combine type thing, but he's very talented, has good bursts. The question you do have for him is the production at Texas was only 1 year. He didn't do the best at Houston, but to be fair, Houston didn't really have a quarterback to get him the ball. Texas did, and they got him the ball quite often, and he was very effective. He was supposed to be the second guy to Isaiah Bond. Well, he was the number one option mainly at Texas over Isaiah Bond. When you watch how they developed the routes, who got the first option looks, all that, he seemed to be the focal point of the Texas offense as the season went on. They also took in the second round Anthony Belton, who actually is one of the last draft picks I think I'll ever see. That's actually older than me, being 24 years old, a bit of an older draft pick. Solid tackle from North Carolina State. They seem to know what they're doing developing tackles. And again, Packers get the benefit of the doubt when it comes to offense linemen. They scout that area of the field extremely well. I trust them with this pick. But I also want to highlight Savion Williams. In Savion Williams because he's a versatile weapon. I never viewed him as a true lockdown wide receiver. He's the closest thing I've seen to a Deebo Samuel in a while, of a guy I would not be afraid to put in the running back position, give him some handoffs, give him some toss plays like that. That's really his strength, and Matt LaFleur does have a lot of similarities with Kyle Shanahan's offense that I'm sure we'll see him get those type of plays down the stretch. The Packers' strength, I would say, is probably their offensive arsenal. Jordan Love, you do have concerns about, and I will talk about him with weaknesses because there is a weakness there that I don't like, but their weapons are so good. Luke Musgrave is a really good tight end. Their wide receivers, they're like 6 deep with guys who can play on the field. Christian Watson may be moved before the season even starts, and even then, like, he may have not been a top guy for them at all. They have Matthew Golden, who they just drafted, Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed, Savion Williams. Those are 4 really talented guys. Then you look at the running backs. They have Josh Jacobs. Like, he really was phenomenal for the Packers last year. And even I, at the time, was like, paying a lot of money in Josh Jacobs. I don't know how that's going to go. And he showed, hey, it was well worth the investment. Their arsenal of weapons is insanely deep, and it's insanely talented. Especially with a play caller like Matt LaFleur, it's heaven for him. He gets to come up with creative ways to get the ball to all these guys in unique different areas of the field, stretch the field, take the underneath routes, some screens, just overall have everything to his disposal to really call an effective game plan week in, week out. Now, when we come to weaknesses, I would say I have 2. One is the main one that I'm going to discuss, but the other one I have to mention because it's not good. Jordan Love does have the turnover-prone bug, and I love Jordan Love. Me and him share the same first name. Jordan's a great name, but he does throw the ball into dangerous areas way too often for my liking. If he would cut that down a little bit, the Packers would be in a much better spot, and you wouldn't be putting your defense in bad situations where they can get scored on more regularly, and you also keep the offense on the field, keeping the defense fresher, just overall helping out the defense a bunch. He's so talented that the turnovers, I overlook them most of the time, but sometimes you just got to be like, Jordan, you can't make that throw. But their biggest weakness to me, I don't like their pass rushers. Rashawn Gary is a very talented guy, do not get me wrong, but he hasn't mainly developed how I thought he would. I thought he would be a really good pass rusher. Lucas Van Ness, I really loved in the draft process, just hasn't hit there yet. I keep on looking for the Packers and I'm like, okay, they need to hit this year. They need to hit this year. They need to hit this year. I'm not saying they need to hit this year because I don't know if it will hit. During the draft process, I was mocking edge rushers to them pretty regularly because I thought that was the main position they need to address, and I still feel like that right now. Maybe there's a trade option. Trey Hendrickson is still yet to sign an extension in Cincinnati. Maybe they go and make a move for that. I just need to see some more pass rushing production from the Packers for me to put them in the realm of contention level for a Super Bowl. Oh, now it's time for me to say where I think the Packers will finish in the division. To me, this team's taking second place in the NFC North. I don't think they're as good as the Lions, but I do take them over the Vikings and Bears. The Bears, I think, could maybe cause some problems if they do hit on all cylinders, but the Packers are a more established product that I'm going to take the safe, reliable Green Bay Packers over the interesting, high-variance Chicago Bears. The Packers are talented. They'll have some turnovers that you're going to really hate, but they're going to put up a lot of points. They're going to have some good turnover plays themselves. With McKinney coming up, making a big-time play, their secondary is solid. I think the Packers can be a very good team and can cause issues in the playoffs. I just don't know if they're in the contention level until they get that pass rushing unit fixed. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you'd share this, I greatly appreciate it. I'm doing 32 teams in 32 days. Team previews. Yesterday was the Detroit Lions. Tomorrow will be the Houston Texans. Come back. I have a Chicago Bears video already on the channel. I'll be doing the Vikings later on, Packers fans. If you want to come hear me talk about the Vikings, and you may be very interested in that compared to Vikings fans. Overall, I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a great day.